Hello. Today I'll be talking about moving against the concentration gradient. Have you ever felt average, like another krill swimming in the ocean, and maybe you realize that oh shoot, if this is the way my life's headed, I'm just gonna be like the average Joe, and that might not bother everyone, but it bothers me. What's the solution? The solution is to do the complete opposite. Swim the other way, like that one krill guy. It sounds a lot like many of these motivational speakers who say the same thing. You gotta be that 1%. You gotta hustle when no one else wants to work. And as overplayed as that is, the truth is still the same. Today I'm just giving it to you in a different font. The common denominator in humans is that we're humans. We want to do things that give us quick gratification, the things that give us the feel-good chemicals in our brain after a long day. And instead of working on something else, we might scroll TikTok, we might watch a movie, do anything to distract ourselves from doing any more work. That's the same reason why most people are the same, because they just do the same things. But if you did the exact opposite, then you create that gap between you. I'm not that person who feels like, oh yeah, you need to be better than everyone else, but I want to have this sense of individuality, and to be individual, you have to separate yourself from everyone else. This is where my theme kind of comes in. You have to use activation energy, and that's not some motivational phrase. It's really an analogy to how our cells work.
So let me break it down for you. The human body is composed of cells, and each cell is enclosed by what we call the cell membrane. Why? Well, one, to keep all the organelles or parts of the cell contained into one area, and secondly, to control what enters and leaves the cell. Solute, or particles specifically, enter and leave the cell on the basis of the concentration gradient. That solute or particles move from a higher concentration to a lower concentration, and this process is called diffusion. Now that you have all this ball knowledge, what does this have to do with activation energy? Even though the natural pattern is from high to low concentration, there are instances where particles move from a lower to a higher concentration. To do this, it requires activation energy or additional energy. And in this slightly complicated analogy, we have another metaphor for the order of life itself. After doing a bunch of tasks throughout the day, we are left with little energy, causing us to follow the concentration gradient, which all humans do, which is to choose an activity that does not necessarily benefit us, but allows us to wind down. Only a small amount of the population, when they are tired, takes the little energy that they have to move against the concentration gradient, to work towards something else that might benefit them in the future, but in the present time is even more laborious. Let me leave you with a quote from Saint Philaret. It says, "A fish that is alive swims against the flow of water. One that is dead floats down with the water. A true Christian goes against the current of sinful age. A false one is swept away by its swiftness."